Hey guys, my name is Mike or Kuber. Today we're talking about Mark Capelli's Mt. Gox and why Mark's going to be a billionaire. He is receiving a payout worth $859 million. The victims of Mt. Gox are getting their money back, not the profits that they could have had, but they're getting something back. So okay, this is crazy news. Definitely stay tuned. You might remember Mark. He was a French gentleman, very nice and happy. There was a photo, well, there was multiple photos of him 3 years ago where people were like, Mt. Gox took my money, where's my money, da, da, da. So they have to wait 3 years before they're going to get their money back. They still haven't gotten it, and it's kind of a mess all over the place, but you know, this is how it works with the legal infrastructure, with business and all that. Mark has been living pretty nicely in Japan, though. He hasn't been to jail. He was facing jail, but it's kind of a weird situation over there. So there was 1 million bitcoins that were lost. When was it? In 2014. 1 million bitcoins. At the time, Bitcoin was $400. Now Bitcoin was approaching $8,000 with its peak at $7,899.90 or something like that. And Mt. Gox lost 1 million bitcoins. They're like, whoops, filing for bankruptcy. So Japanese investors requested that the company kind of open up a little bit, and they wanted to get some investigations going. So when the company got bankrupt and the investigation started happening, about 200,000 of the million bitcoins was recovered. So that 200,000 was held onto. And since the price of Bitcoin was going up like crazy, they were like, okay, well, with that, we'll be able to repay investors for the amount that they lost if we just wait for it to go up. And it did. So all the people who lost money can be paid back. For example, there's one gentleman. He had 311 Bitcoins. He was upset. His name is Colin Burgess. He said that he was upset that Capelli's would have most of the value of his Bitcoins. He held 311. He's going to get back $130,000, but he says it should be $2 million. So really, Mark Capelli's is getting an $859 million cash payday, or, well, Bitcoins, that at that value, if Bitcoin continues to go up, he will be a billionaire with the funds that he stole or whatever. Because it's weird, 800,000 Bitcoins was unaccounted for, and, you know, well, he was the CEO, and it's interesting. You look at stuff like Cryptsy, where the CEO outright took, by the way, look up cryptsysettlement.com. I've made videos about this before, but the CEO just outright, boom, $30 million gone of Litecoin and Bitcoin. Ethereum wasn't around at the time, or it was, but it wasn't popular. So there have been other exchanges as well that just took the money, boom. That'd be crazy if like Coinbase or Kraken or Poloniex or Bittrex, they're just like, oh, whatever, bankruptcy, all the money that you had on there is suddenly gone. That's why you always need to diversify. Always invest with funds that you can't afford to lose, because sometimes the exchanges might just steal outright, and they'll be like, whatever, hackers or glitch or bankruptcy, guy gone. So at least in this case, the investors are getting their money back, but the rest of it's going back to Mr. Mark Capelli's, which honestly, I don't think there's no way he took all the Bitcoin for himself. It's just running a company myself and seeing how other people run companies. It's a mess. There's no perfect company out there at all. So there is a chance that a lot of the Bitcoin was just lost in cyberspace due to various things. Just disorganized. Just look at Coinbase. Coinbase is so disorganized because it's growing way too fast. That's a problem. It's a good problem, but it still is a problem that can't really be fixed super easily. So Bitcoin price grew, the investors are getting their money back, but Mark Capelli's is keeping a large chunk of cash for himself, which is actually kind of interesting. And now Mark won't be facing really any charges unless people will start going full out after him. I'm kind of surprised no one really did anything to him, but then he's probably like paranoid and has security all over him. And at that point, he doesn't care because he's gonna be a billionaire. So with that amount of money, like, if anything ever goes wrong in Japan, he's able to get out. He's able to buy countries. Maybe they're small in Africa or Southeast Asia or South America or whatever, but he's able to do it. He really is. He could buy himself multiple islands. He can make himself an island. He doesn't care. He could fly to the moon or Mars. Or, like, seriously, think about that. He could fly to Mars if he really wanted to. He's going to be a billionaire. He doesn't care. So, it is what it is. It could be better, but I think this resolved pretty nicely anyways, considering the people from Cryptsy, they're gone. Because usually in these cases where Mt. Gox was huge at the time, it was one of the main reasons Bitcoin nearly died out. So not only did a lot of Bitcoin go missing, but people who were just holding on to Bitcoin through the Mt. Gox time, well, boom! It shattered. A lot of people were like, oh my gosh, suddenly 1 million Bitcoins is gone. What? That's a huge amount. That is a huge amount. $400 million. Just, wow. And the market cap wasn't like now where cryptocurrencies are $200 billion. No. 400 million back then was a crazy chunk of the market, considering it was only a couple $1 billion. So Bitcoin has grew quite well, and the situation is here because of Bitcoin's constant growth. What if it went differently? What if the funds were never recovered? What if the Bitcoin just decided, oh, okay, continue crashing, boom, eradicated, just like that. Millions of dollars would still probably be in Mark's account, and everybody else would have lost their hundreds of thousands of dollars. There was one guy who was outside of Mt. Gox with like a poster. He's just like, oh, my $300,000 gone. He has no money left. That's stupid. Why are you investing all your money? If you have $300,000, you should invest $100,000 or $200,000 or even $250,000. Hey, listen, even if you lost like $275,000, you're able to take $25,000 and live in Poland for the next like 2 years just fine. Like, living in one of the best streets, you could probably do that. Or even 3 years if you wanted to like go, which that gives you enough time and money to do anything else you wanted. So a lot of these people who lost money and will get it back, like, I wonder if anybody committed suicide or something like that, but you know, that's their fault for just being silly with the money. Never trust the exchanges, never trust anything like that. My name is Michael Kubera. We shall see you guys here on out. What do you think about Mark? What do you think about Mt. Gox? If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we shall see you guys tomorrow. Bye.